The doors stayed locked. The phones rang off the hook. And the regional manager? He had no idea that his entire workforce had just disappeared on purpose. Why? Because he demanded we work overtime for free. And trust me, that was his last demand. If you've ever wanted to take sweet, poetic revenge on a toxic boss, this story is your therapy session. Hit that like button, subscribe and follow, and get ready for one of the most satisfying stories of workplace justice you'll ever hear. They called him Grumpy. Not because he was mean, but because a medical condition had left him with a permanent scar. But if you spent 5 minutes with him, you'd see he had a heart the size of the store he ran. I met Grumpy at one of the lowest points in my life. I was fresh out of high school, clawing my way out of addiction and struggling to figure out what came next. He saw something in me that I couldn't yet see in myself. He offered me a lifeline, my first real job. Grumpy managed one of the city's mid-sized hardware and home improvement stores. Think everything from custom cabinets to power tools, minus the toxic corporate nonsense. Under his leadership, the place didn't just run, it thrived. Happy employees, loyal customers, top-tier performance. Fourth in national sales, first in customer satisfaction. Why? Because Grumpy lived by one rule. If my employees are happy, they work better. It's not rocket science. But then, everything changed. Grumpy's condition flared up. He was hospitalized. And that's when HQ made their biggest mistake. They replaced him with Wilhelm. Now picture everything Grumpy wasn't, and you get Wilhelm.
He was young, smug, fresh out of a business school textbook. Never worked the floor, never lifted a single box. But boy, did he love barking orders from his glass office. His mission? Squeeze every last drop of profit out of our store, even if it meant squeezing us dry. He started by tearing up our schedules. Monthly planning gone, replaced by erratic weekly shifts. Sales targets skyrocketed. Within 2 weeks, 6 experienced team members were gone, fired or quit. But the real kick in the teeth? That came when a supermarket chain moved into the same building. Wilhelm made a cozy little arrangement with their manager. We'd help out their understaffed store during our shifts, unpaid. Say no, written up. 2 write-ups, you're fired. Then came the breaking point, the loading bay. We started at 5 a.m. sharp to load delivery trucks, but Wilhelm ordered us to unload the supermarket's trucks first, delaying our deliveries, screwing over customers, and forcing even more unpaid hours. And when someone asked about overtime, Wilhelm snapped, "You already make enough for getting off early. No OT. Period." Every day felt like psychological warfare. You could see it in everyone's eyes. Frustration, exhaustion, quiet rage. 10 people quit in a single month. New hires didn't last a week. The store's soul was dying. But then, Grumpy came back. He didn't return with fanfare, no dramatic entrance, just a slightly limping man with a cane, and a storm brewing behind his eyes. The moment we saw him, we had hope. But Wilhelm still outranked him. "If I catch anyone whining to Grumpy, you're gone," he warned. So we waited, quietly. But the carpenters, they weren't so patient.
They spilled everything to Grumpy, and he moved like a chess master. Every catch-up meeting, a download of Wilhelm's reign of terror. Every unpaid hour, every threat, every detail, locked in Grumpy's vault. And when he officially returned as manager, he dropped the hammer. One evening after closing, Grumpy called a staff meeting. He stood in front of us, leaning on his cane, and said, "Starting tomorrow, nobody shows up to work but me. If they call you, send them to me. That's all." And just like that, we vanished. Phones rang, doors stayed locked, deliveries missed, customers complained, HQ panicked, Wilhelm called in screaming. Grumpy answered, calm as ever. "Had to fire them all," he said. "They were working a second job during their shifts. Breach of contract." HQ demanded proof. Grumpy delivered. Testimonies, unpaid labor logs, threats, illegal schedules, and the final blow? Wilhelm's refusal to sign off overtime on record. They had no choice. Wilhelm was fired. You could practically hear the corporate panic. HR called us not to punish, but to rehire. We got severance. We got most of our unpaid overtime. And when we came back, it was with raises. The supermarket lost staff. Our store thrived again. And Wilhelm? Last I heard, he left the industry entirely. Justice doesn't always come with sirens and lawsuits. Sometimes it's quiet, calculated, surgical. And sometimes the best revenge is walking back into a broken system and fixing it so hard it can't hurt anyone else again. Grumpy, wherever you are, we'll never forget what you did. If this story gave you chills like it gave me, smash that like button and drop a comment. What's the most satisfying revenge you've ever seen? Make sure you subscribe and follow for more stories that prove karma is real, and sometimes it comes with a cane and a frown.